Hello everyone, this is Maggie and welcome to another YouTube video. Honestly, for this video, I had a different idea of what I wanted to do. I was making an animation for you guys and I was gonna post it here and on TikTok, but we've been having technical difficulties, aka Greta doesn't want to work with me right now, so I had to cook up something else for you guys. And I had a lovely idea. So I've had some of you guys ask me about how I make my sketchbook spreads and how they're so chunky and how I organize stuff. So I thought I would do one for you guys. We have here my own sketchbook. We're gonna work on a little spread with one of my OCs. I'm gonna film the whole thing and I'm gonna show you how I go about making things. Again, I just want to thank you all for the support you guys have been giving me. I'm just forever grateful for what you guys have been allowing me to do lately. If you haven't known, the channel is officially monetized. So that was all thanks to you guys. Again, just thank you so much for your support, and let's not get lost in the sappy stuff. Without further ado, let's get started. So obviously we're gonna just have a little look through the sketchbook, how it's going so far. Very chunky, very nice, a bunch of stuff. And right now, what I would like to do is, I have this whole page that I filled with store receipts from stuff I bought. You guys know I really like to cover my page with store receipts because they give the sketchbook a really nice, chunky feeling, and I just love the texture for drawing on it. So, for this spread, I had an idea to make a few doodles and drawings of my OC, Absalom. I don't talk about them a lot, but if you've seen some of my sketchbook tours, you have absolutely seen them. And I just really like to draw him because he's associated with like a lot of my favorite aesthetics, like lovecore, meatcore, anything like Valentine's Day related. I'll throw like his Pinterest board on screen so you guys like know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I just really love their aesthetic, so I'm gonna try to replicate it here in my sketchbook for you guys to see. I'm gonna probably be drawing and I'm gonna have a voiceover while I do it, so I'm gonna be talking about Absalom, a little bit of his lore as well, and then I will go about how I make my sketchbook spreads. So I'm gonna get to work on drawing, and thank you so much for watching, and let's get started. Hello everyone, voiceover Maggie here. And I am here to talk to you about how I make my sketchbook spreads. I decided to do a little voiceover while I show you the speed paint of this spread that I'm doing. And oh my god, look at this! Look at me! Look at me! Look at me! Oh my god, guys! I'm a PNG tuber now, okay? I wanted to make just like these little PNG tuber avatar thingies just to like keep you guys company during like the speed paints and stuff like that. Last time I found the screen a little empty without something to show you guys while the speed paint was going on, so we're gonna try these out. I had a lot of fun making them, so you know, might as well. So you guys came here to know about how I make my sketchbook spreads look this juicy and stuffed to the brim with cool stuff. So I'm gonna take you through my methods of going about making sketchbook spreads. So practically this is the one where you plan everything, you already have a plan in mind, an aesthetic, a character, whatever that may be, and you actively start gathering stuff for that idea you have in mind. So for this one, I wanted to go about drawing something with my OC Absalom. You'll also hear about him later on, but for now I just want to focus on talking to you about the sketchbook spread. So the first thing to do is to kind of analyze the character and see what things are gonna look good with him. So we're gonna go looking for what colors does he have in his design, what aesthetics did I pick for them, shapes. So for that, you usually go look in the character's design. So to start making this spread, I wanted to analyze Absalom a little bit just to see, you know, what can I use from his design to build this spread around him. So for example, I know he has a lot of like warm but kind of dull colors at the same time. He's really covered in pinks and reds, but they're very dull and gray colors still despite being warm. A lot of blacks and whites as well. So we want to go for those colors. He does have a lot of heart shapes, for example, in his hair tie. He's very bug looking as well. He has antenna, he's like half centipede and everything, so we're gonna go looking for like maybe Valentine's Day iconography, lovecore stuff. You want to go look for like, again, pinks and reds and heart shapes, flowers, anything related to that, but also want to try to pull on the blacks and whites, maybe try to bring something more edgy into it. And if possible, try to find some bug stuff that I can use with him since, you know, he's part bug. So to fill my pages, I first covered everything in store receipts because you guys know by now that I love me drawing and doing collages on top of store receipts because they just make the paper super crunchy and it's a fun texture to work on. Plus, it fills up the page and the background really well without leaving it too crowded as well. So for this spread, I'm gonna start with the background. I already have all the receipts glued on, so I'm gonna start with filling up the corners with some washi tape. I'm just gonna make a little frame around the image. I have some pink washi tape with like these black flowers that I immediately thought of when I think of Absalom. I have other pink ones, flowers as well. I have this really cool one that looks like a measuring tape in black. I have this black one with white polka dots. I also have this brown one with red hearts, which I do think it looks good. It helps pull on the red a little more, but I don't think it was really necessary, but I could have used one that was a little better, but still nice thing to do. So after that's done, after we're done with washi tapes, I usually move to bigger stickers or like pieces of paper that I can glue on the background just to try to fill in corners. So you can see that I was using sticky notes, I was using leftover printing paper from a college project I made a while ago. I'm using old stickers, sticky notes, just anything you can find really. You can also use something a lot of people using is origami paper from those like origami sets because they usually come with like some patterns on them already, and I think that's really cool as well. You can use parchment paper, cardboard, pages from other books. Again, the sky's the limit as long as they fit the aesthetic you're going for. Next up, we're gonna actually start drawing the character. For this, I don't usually have like a set framing or composition when I start doing the character. I just like to start drawing. Maybe I kind of know that I want like some closer up pieces, or I want to draw their face first, or like I want to start with a big full body, but it really depends on what I'm feeling at the time. I don't think too much about it personally, but what I do is once I'm finished with one page, I usually see what would work best with the other. So I think my thinking and my planning on composition starts halfway through the project, which I guess it is good and bad in some points. It has its pros and cons. I think it forces me to kind of like make up compositions on the spot, and I think that's a really good creative exercise for me. I think it's very easy for me to do these things now because I kind of throw myself at them so often that I've learned to do them, which is really nice in my opinion. But yeah, I kind of just start drawing Absalom, and you have a bunch of cool things here. I wanted to go all out with this one since, you know, that's what the whole video is about. I need to make like a cool spread with him, and I have already made a very similar spread with Absalom. If I find it, I'm gonna put it up on screen. I was going for those vibes again, but I wanted to do something a little different because I really like this page, but I wanted to do something like in the same vein but still kind of different because Absalom is a very special character. I'm gonna talk about him a bit better later on. So next up, I'm gonna talk about some more stuff that I do once I'm finished drawing the characters. So in this spread, you can see that I am actually drawing Absalom on a different piece of paper than what I would be drawing. I'm not drawing him on the sketchbook, I'm drawing him on a different piece of paper that I'm gonna later cut out and then glue on my sketchbook. I did want to do it like this time because I knew this was gonna be like a super caked up stuffed spread, so I figured I might as well do the art itself on a different sketchbook and then like cut it out and glue it on the main spread, since it's gonna help, you know, just showcase the point that it's all about layering pieces of paper and different materials to get that chunky look that I think most people are looking for. So yeah, just draw whatever you want, whatever your character is, whatever you're vibing with. Yeah, so once the art is done, I cut it out and I start playing around with the first piece. So I want to see how it would look like on the page, see how it fits in, because I knew the page that I was drawing on drawing is bigger than the pages I have on my sketchbook, so I knew that drawing was gonna like kind of take over a little bit of the page next to it, but I knew that I could do something fun with compositioning there. So I'm gonna be trying it out on the page and see what composition comes up from there. You're gonna see what I came up with in a few minutes. So once the first page is done, at least the art for that, I move on to the second page. I wanted to do, again, just more Absalom. I thought, since for the first page I did 2 close-ups of like his bust or their face, whatever, I wanted to do like not a full body because Absalom is like massive. Their centipede part just stretches infinitely long. They're really, really big. So I just try to do like, it's a full body technically. Yeah, I just wanted to like draw him a little bit bigger, and I wanted to make him eat a little bucket of popcorn because as well with the first one I noticed he looked a little serious. He was like snarling in the first picture, and in the second one he was like looking at this little bug friend, and he has kind of this weird somber uncaring look, kind of like he's unbothered, but you can still see that they're kind of sad. So I wanted to go with something a little goofier, and a little joke I have with Absalom is that he kind of just likes to like look into other people's love lives. He likes to watch them like he's watching a little novella. I kind of joke that he can spawn popcorn out of nowhere as like a little cartoon gag because he's watching his telenovelas so often, which is just like other people's love lives. So I drew him like eating a little bucket of popcorn, and the popcorn are kind of floating out of the bucket as, again, Absalom kind of live in a void, and that's pretty much it. Once I'm done with the art, I start gluing. First I glue the art down on the sketchbook because I want to make sure I have a nice clean canvas to glue everything on so that I'm not gluing the art over like puffy stickers or anything that could like bend or rip the paper up when I glue it down. So first we glue the paper down and then we move on to the bedazzling part. So now that we have our drawing done, we're going to follow the same rules that we went to. We're going to go look for colors, shapes, motifs, anything that could fit Absalom and his aesthetic and looks, and we're going to use it on the page the same way we did the first time decorating. So I picked some stickers that I had in my collection. I picked mostly pink ones, pink and black, red as well. I wanted to go with like this really filled up look, and I also went with stickers that were like much smaller than the ones I glued down previously, because now we're gonna just be filling in corners of pages that aren't filled in anymore by the drawing itself. So we're gonna need smaller stickers so we can just glue them down a bunch. But also, I forgot, before you do that, really fun thing to do is to first draw on the empty spaces, because then you'll be already filling them up a little bit. I usually just like to fill them with like stars, with hearts, with swirls, little repeating shapes, because I think it creates some consistency in between the two pages. So I just see that it's something I like to do in these pages. I just start with some quick like felt tip pens that I have, just stuff you can buy at like the dollar store, just very cheap school level art materials, if you understand that. Now that the little background doodles are done, we can start actually gluing down the stickers. Again, just little stickers like I mentioned previously that worked with colors, the shapes of the character, themings, aesthetics, anything really. And then it's kind of like a trial and error. I suggest you get pincers, especially if your stickers are very small or like their glue is really strong, and like if you lay them down on accident you can just peel them off easily and glue them back somewhere else. That's like an issue I've had before, and tweezers really help with that. Something I really want to stress is that to get that chunky, stupid, like filled up look, you need to get like stickers with different textures and thicknesses. I do have a lot of them that are just like, you know, just very thin stickers as well, but some of them are shiny, they're sparkly, some of them are kind of like, they have like this layer of resin on top, so they are still very thin, gives a really nice texture, and they're very shiny as well. Mine, I usually get them on like dollar stores. Just try to find stuff from like Scrapbook, packs, and the children's section. I promise you can find cool stickers pages for cheap. It can be a little daunting sometimes, but I promise it's something you can get. And that's pretty much it, how I go about it. Usually I can tell when a spread is done when I can no longer see where I could put a sticker and it not unbalancing like the weight of the pages. Oh, one side is more filled in than the other. I kind of like to keep it balanced like that. Here I went in one last time with my gel pens just to make sure I add some more little glitters, stars here and there, little shapes to fill in like very tiny spaces where I couldn't put in any stickers. And that's pretty much it for how I make my pages. It can look like a little stressful, that it maybe takes like a lot of work. I personally think the trick is to like take it as a little walk in the park. Like just take it slow, take it easy. You're having fun. Take your time with seeing where you want to glue down stickers. But also like don't overthink it. Like, oh, if I glue it here, like don't try to think 5 steps ahead. Just take one thing at a time and see, oh, this sticker is gonna look good here. And this one's gonna look good here. Take sketchbooking one sticker at a time. That's another one for Maggie's board of cute little quotes she's gonna pin in there sometime. So, finally, to fill in some extra time, I am going to tell you about Absalom. Absalom is an OC I've had for around 2 or 3 years now. I used to be really obsessed with him around 2022, I think. I really loved their design and just how they looked and the whole thing. I really like centipedes. I think they're really pretty. In the same way someone thinks like sharks are pretty. But yeah, I think they're just really pretty bugs. And I wanted to make a character with those vibes. And I ended up coming up with this guy. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about him. Absalom is this creature that I like to call an anti-Cupid. While when you think of Cupid, you think of like, oh, it's like young love, that thrill and of falling in love with someone. Absalom is the opposite of that. He is the longing and the nostalgic feeling of being once loved, but now you're not. He lives in like this big black watery void in between dimensions, and he really likes to peek into other people's love lives through these little portal window things that he can summon to peek into other dimensions. He's not really a guardian or a god of like love, because again, he's not Cupid, but if you spot him spying on you, that is seen as like a bad omen, that, oh, your love life's gonna go down in the gutter and everything's gonna go terribly, your partner is gonna break up with you, whatever. And that's pretty much it for him. He's like a little hopeless, sarcastic, romantic guy who'll tell you that love's all sappy and he doesn't really like it, but then you will find him looking at like old man yaoi because he really just wants love as well, I guess. I do have this idea that like no one knows where he came from, but there's a legend surrounding it. So, and the legend goes as, at the world's edge, 2 people fell in love and they loved each other so much that their bodies fused into one creature, and they lived very happy until inside this fusion creature, one of the partners passed away, but they couldn't infuse because the living one didn't want to leave the dead one alone, you know? I mean, person just dies and you leave them alone. I mean, no, you love them. Of course, you're not going to leave them. And unfortunately, as that love started to turn into bitterness and pain and grieving, and the dead body started to, you know, rot and decay, Absalom started to look more bug-like. And that's a legend that goes around in this universe that I have. It is supposed to be a legend about Absalom, but no one knows if that's where they actually came from. But it would explain a lot of things about their character, like the fact that they're completely obsessed with looking into other people's love lives. So for this character, I went with a lot of the aesthetics that I personally love. I really like, again, the Valentine's Day aesthetic, the pinks, the reds, the heart shapes, but I wanted to make it kind of uncanny, weird looking, a little bit disturbing, so I mixed it with a lot of like meat core, with like rotting iconography, again with bugs, with flesh and meat, and practically that's it. A lot of his aesthetic just surrounds that. The sweet sweetness, of love, or of fruits, of like cute lovey-dovey Valentine's Day stuff, and then compared to like the deep red of like blood or meat, or like this carnal love, this need for like flesh and closeness. That was also a really big idea behind his design. If Cupid is very connected to like doves and wings and angels because it's supposed to be like a cherub, I think having Absalom be kind of bug-shaped would be really cool, because who else comes to eat the dead but bugs? And that is pretty much it. That's all I have to say for my sketchbooking and my OC Absalom. I'm gonna let you watch the rest of the speed paint, and then once it's done, I will get back to you in my present Maggie. So thank you for watching, thank you for sticking around, and I'll see you in a minute. Bye bye! And we are finally finished! Oh my god, this turned out so good. Guys, I think we cooked. I think this is peak. I am pretty sure this is peak. I hope VoiceOver Maggie did a good job explaining to you how I go about creating my spreadsheets and choosing colors and shapes and stickers and whatever that may be. And hopefully you also liked to learn a little bit about Absalom. They're one of my favorite OCs I have right now. I just love them a lot, and I hope I managed to make you love them too. But that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, blah 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 YouTube words. If you would like to follow me on my social medias, I'll put them up on screen right now, but you can also visit maggieoutthere.card.co to see what other social medias I'm in, like Art Fight, Toy House. I have my own website on AOCDs. You can find a bunch of stuff there. And that's pretty much it again. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!